I was all excited to film this video and it's literally off to the worst start. My car like won't start, like it won't even let me turn the key. I don't understand. I am stressed. I don't know. Help her. This lighting looks horrible, I think, but it's fine. So we got the car started, off to a great start. I'm gonna get myself a coffee because it's 3 p.m. and I want a coffee. Hi, can I get a small iced butter pecan, just black, please?
Black, okay?
Yep, that's all. Nope, that's all.
You want it?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. No, thank you. Thank you. Okay, I think we're situated now. Also, my car is an absolute mess. I've still like only half unpacked from moving out of my dorm, and half of my dorm is still in my car. So sorry. Does anyone else just feel like so much more comfortable filming in their car than they do like anywhere else? Because I've definitely never been this outgoing in a video. This is a lot. Let's try this again. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kaylee if you're new here, and I am filming from the Target parking lot, getting some like Hannah Elise vibes up in here. Hey girl. So yeah, if you just saw that mess of my life, I was planning on, you know, having this be like a nice little sit down in my living room, and then everything was just going wrong. So I came here. Regardless, in today's video, I just kind of wanted to sit and talk with you guys about the 10 things that I have learned my sophomore year of college. Today is Saturday. I just finished my last final on Tuesday. Having this year end is honestly a really, really bittersweet feeling. I'm really kind of like torn about it because this was the best and worst year of school of my life. And that is so hard to kind of explain, because like socially, I have met some of my absolute very best friends. Like I've become surrounded with the most amazing people in my life, and that all kind of happened this year, and I'm very, very grateful for that. But on the other hand, especially this past semester, spring semester, was the most challenging semester of my life academically. I took some really, really hard classes that going into this semester, I knew it was going to be challenging, but I don't think I could have ever prepared myself for how difficult it actually was for me. This year definitely stands out in my life as definitely a breakthrough year. I have learned so much this year. It was honestly really hard to kind of condense it down into 10 things, but I was able to do it, and I just kind of wanted to sit and talk to you guys about it because I feel like it could help anyone going into college, or anyone in college, or even anyone in high school. I just feel like a lot of people can relate to this, and a lot of these things, if I had kind of heard them, I know that they would help me a lot. So yeah, let's get into it. And if I'm looking like down, I have my phone. I have just some notes I took to make sure that I hit all the points that I want to hit. So the first thing that I learned this year in school is to bring water everywhere. Literally always have water on you. Like just do it. All throughout high school, and honestly all throughout freshman year of college, I never ever had water on me. Like I was always dehydrated, always complaining of a headache, and I always knew it was because I was dehydrated. I literally never drank water. Maybe a bottle a day. Like it was bad. And then over the summer and a lot more into like the fall semester of this year, I got into a really good habit of drinking so much water, and I saw such a huge difference. I just felt better. Yeah, like I was going to the bathroom 20,000 times more, but like I never had headaches. I was eating a lot less too, because I had always kind of like trained myself to think like, oh, I'm hungry, but honestly it was only because I was thirsty. I just felt myself feeling better. Yeah, Kaylee? Guys, it is so hot in here. This was not a good idea to film in my car in the sun today, but it's okay, I'm gonna do it. Especially like being a dance major, I'm dancing all the time, and when you're dancing, like you get thirsty because you're exerting energy. And I just kind of always sucked it up because I never felt the need to bring a water with me, but this year I did. For most of the year, I used this Brita water bottle, which was actually really convenient because you can fill it with tap water, and there's a filter in the straw that filters the water so that you're drinking filtered water. That helped a lot for me because a lot of the times I didn't have access to like the filtered water machines, I forget what they're called, and I only had like bubblers around campus, and I don't really know how great the bubbler water is. So I was constantly filling up this water bottle and drinking like actually like 5 to 6 of these a day, which is over 100 ounces of water a day, which is so good. And I just felt myself feeling so much better. Again, felt myself feeling so much better. This is going well. So this has been a really big thing for me, is just always having water on you, always having a water bottle. Especially, I highly suggest getting a reusable water bottle. They're wicked cheap at Walmart. This one, maybe not so much, but there are some there that are like $5-6. It's just a really easy way to keep yourself hydrated throughout the year. I mean, like, yeah, not much more I can talk about. Just stay hydrated. The second thing that I learned this year is to use your planner and manage your time. Holy crap. I cannot even begin to explain how organized and how amazing this year has been, because I put so much effort into using my planner. Like in high school and even like last year, my freshman year of college, I never ever used my agenda or my planner. Like I always bought one and used it for like the first 2 weeks, and then just like it would never see the light of day again. And because of that, I was always so unorganized, like never ever knew when assignments were due or tests were, or like any other obligations or like extracurriculars that I had. I never knew when they were happening. People would be like, oh, what are you doing this day? And I'd be like, I actually couldn't tell you. Like I could have a 10-page paper due or like a freaking dance show that day. I wouldn't know. I've never had any idea what was going on in my life. It was horrible, and my grades reflected that. I didn't do as great as I could have because I was always so unorganized, and I was constantly forgetting about assignments and handing them in late because I didn't know when they were due. It's really important to like jot down and keep a record of like due dates and stuff like that. Your professors aren't always going to remind you. There are some professors that will like remind you constantly, like, oh, this is coming up, this due date's coming up, this test is coming soon. But then there are other professors that like have it down in the syllabus and then they never speak of it again, and then the date comes and you're like, what? And I was always that person. So it's really important that you use your planner and you write down these due dates and you check your calendar every now and again, because it will help you so much in the long run. I seriously cannot even explain to you like how much better I did in school and how much less stressed I was because of how organized all my dates were. I always knew what was happening. I always knew what I had on what days. It was honestly just amazing. And I had totally planned on bringing my planner and showing you guys a few of my months written out to show you how organized I did actually keep my agenda this year. But I forgot it at home. So maybe once I get back home, I can show you guys and insert that clip here. It's like so many days later, but I have my planner and I just wanted to show you guys how organized this planner actually made me. So to start, this is the Day Designer. I don't know if you can see it. I wanted to get the daily one, but accidentally ordered the weekly one. So like, it'll do. So yeah, I ordered mine on Amazon. I will link it down below if anyone's interested. But it has weekly, like hourly schedules. I'll show you one of mine. So like, just for example, this is like what one of my weeks looked like. So this is a Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday in March for me. So like up here it has like, oh, today's top 3. So like the top 3 things you have to get done that day. And then it's today's schedule hourly from 6 a.m. to I think 7 p.m. And I would just write down like approximately what I had to do in that hour. So like all this I think was maybe, oh no, okay, I decided to sleep until 10 that day. Good for me. Wow. And then just like wrote down out the rest of my day. It just really helped me stay organized, one, and on top of all my shit too. And then it has a weekly to-do list that I would write down. I obviously didn't do a very good job of it this week, but would write down everything I had to do that week. And then it has little check boxes where you can like check it off once you're done with it. And then I think this is really cute, but it has a little like weekly quote every week. So this one is, too low they build who built what? Too low they build who build beneath the stars. Okay. And then on the other side, it has like gratitude, notes, and like what's coming up next week. I think this was a hard week for me, so I wrote a lot in the gratitude, if you can see that. And then the next week was spring break. So that's actually funny that I flipped to this page. But I did want to show you guys one of my like months at a glance, like the monthly calendar. So this is April for me. As you can see, April was an insane month for me. I very much color coded my agenda. I feel weird because you like can't see me, but sorry. I very much color coded my agenda. So like every class had a different color assigned to it. So yeah, as you can see, April was extremely busy for me, like so busy. But yeah, there's really not much more to say. That is how I used my planner to stay organized, and it helped so much more than I could ever explain. Going along with using your planner and stuff, managing your time is so important, and a big part of that is using your planner. Especially for me, in this year, I was extremely busy. I had so many things going on this year. Like, I put myself into so many extracurriculars, so many hard classes. Like, I just had so much going on that the planner really helped me kind of organize like what I had when. And it also helped me find times where like, oh, this day I have 5 hours free, so I should work on this big assignment that's due in a week, because next week I have such a busy week and I have absolutely no time to work on anything. I know a majority of college students and high school students and students in general do as well, but I personally really struggle with procrastination. I procrastinate a lot. Like everything, like every aspect of my life, I procrastinate. And that causes me a lot more stress and anxiety than I like need in my life. Truly, I'm working really hard on managing my time better and not procrastinating and splitting up assignments and stuff like that. I actually did a project from one of my classes this past semester. It was my final, and I researched the idea of academic procrastination and kind of why people do it and like how to like not do it. And it was actually really interesting to see that like at the forefront of it, like everyone thinks that people procrastinate because they're lazy or they don't want to do it, but there are a lot deeper meanings that I kind of like internally I knew, but I never really like connected it. I kind of discovered through my research that I procrastinate because I'm a perfectionist and I fear having assignments not be like up to my standards or like to be perfect, which is a whole nother thing that I will get more into in a few points. Forcing myself to take time to split up assignments and work on it day by day has really helped me in some ways. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't too successful with it this semester, but there was one really big assignment that I had stressed about for a long time, and there was one week where I was able to really force myself to split up this assignment into 5 parts and get those 5 parts done, and it was done like 2 days before it was actually due, which is huge for me. I just felt so accomplished that I was able to push myself to kind of split up my time and get that done. And like managing your time, it helps with the quality of your assignments too. If you split up your assignments, they will be better quality. Like, you'll put more effort into them because you have that extra time. I apologize if the frame has changed. Definitely has. My camera overheated because I'm filming in the blazing hot sun and I'm dumb. So I'm probably like killing my camera right now, but it's okay. So yeah, I forget where I left off. In some ways, if you do manage your time, you might be able to enjoy your assignments more. This might pertain less to high school students, but more to college students who are studying things that they actually are passionate about and like. I'm a dance major, and dance is something that I'm really passionate about. And a lot of the assignments that I completed this semester were really difficult, but they were also about things that I was really passionate about and really interested in. And when I was able to give myself that accurate time to like finish assignments and complete assignments, I was actually really able to enjoy them and learn a lot from them because it was about something that I liked and I was already passionate about. I know that there were some weeks where I had absolutely no free time. I would wake up at 6 a.m., I'd go to work, I'd run back, go to class, I would have like a tech for a show, or I'd have an actual show, and then it would be like midnight by the time I get back to my room and I would just have no time for anything. So really writing down and planning out those weeks helped me to visualize when I would have really tough weeks and kind of split up my assignments into like the weeks before so that they would be done before I even got into those hectic weeks. Like I said, I didn't really conquer my procrastination too well this semester, but that specifically helped me a lot because I did kind of pre-plan for those more difficult weeks, and I was able to get like kind of smaller assignments done or like parts of bigger assignments done so that I wasn't super duper stressed for like wicked hard or busy weeks. The third thing that I learned this year is how important self-care is, and specifically like nighttime self-care. I've never been one to kind of like care for myself at night. I always just kind of went through my day and then laid in bed and watched Netflix until I fell asleep, or played on my phone until I fell asleep. This past semester, spring semester specifically, when I did have the time for it, I really focused on giving myself even just 30 minutes at night to kind of like calm down and de-stress from my day. And it's amazing, honestly, how much even just those 30 minutes did for me. I'll admit I wasn't perfect. I did fall asleep to Netflix a majority of those nights, but there were some nights where I was able to just like get in bed by even 9:30 and read for half an hour. This is something I'm really excited to kind of dive more into over the summer because I'll have more time to do it. But reading before bed was a huge thing for me. It got me to get off my phone and really like keep my brain moving. It just let me kind of like de-stress and relax. I have a really hard time falling asleep at night, and whenever I got a chance to, like, I would read and I would pass right out. Reading is something I honestly think a lot more people should get into. It's awesome. Oil diffusers are big for me. I had one in my room and I had it going pretty much every night. You know, at night I'll just like throw in my little lavender essential oil into my diffuser and I'll just leave it going all night when I fall asleep, and it really does help me kind of calm down. I deal with a lot of nighttime anxiety. Any night that I have my oil diffuser going, it honestly is a lot less noticeable and I'm able to fall asleep a lot easier. So if you don't have an oil diffuser and you kind of struggle with the same thing, I definitely recommend getting one. They're useful. So number 4 is to live in the moment. This has been such a big thing for me this year. I know that it is so easy to get wicked caught up in the stress of school and how overwhelmed you are and all your assignments, but it is so important to really take everything in and just enjoy every little bit of it, because it is going to be gone in the blink of an eye. Like, to sit here and think that I'm done with my second year of college already is insane to me. Like, I just graduated high school. Like, I was just a freshman in high school. Like, no, definitely not. This semester especially was really hard for me to kind of live in the moment and enjoy everything, just because of how stressed I was all the time. But you know, like when you graduate college, you're gonna look back and be like, wow, I really wish that I had enjoyed those moments more. And it's true. I even look back at my freshman year and I'm like, wow, I really wish that I enjoyed that time more, or I really wish that I enjoyed this semester more. You're always gonna regret not enjoying it as much as you can. And I know that school is really stressful. Trust me, I know, but it's so important to really take everything in and just live in the moment and just like live your best life, because like everyone says that these are the best 4 years of your life. It's true. They are. For me at least. I'm constantly finding myself throwing myself into so many things throughout the semester. This year I was a part of 2 dance shows, and then I had like a bunch of hard classes and stuff like that, and I was constantly stressing about how overwhelmed I was, that I wasn't really living in the moment and enjoying those dances and enjoying the times that I had for these dance shows, because I was so stressed that I was doing so much dance. But I'm gonna look back in like 5 or 6 years when I'm really not dancing that much and be like, wow, like I had the opportunity to dance that much and I didn't like appreciate it. Realizing that just like totally shifted my mindset, and I was like, wow, like I am really lucky that I'm able to dance this much in college and like get these opportunities, and I need to start enjoying them instead of being so stressed about them. So I just started really focusing on enjoying my moments and trying to not let the stress of academics get to me, because when you're older, you're not going to sit there and remember college, wow, I was so stressed. You're going to be like, wow, college, like I met all of these people and I did all of these things. And that's kind of what you want to focus on and enjoy right now. That's definitely been a big realization for me this year, is to just focus on all the good and just live in the moment. And number 5 is to eat healthy and work out when you can and if you can. This one was a really hard pill for me to swallow, but I'm so happy that I was able to kind of like accept it and just kind of take it for what it is for the semester. I've said this multiple times already throughout this video, but I was very, very busy this semester. Always moving, like never had time for anything. And that included the gym, which was honestly a really big thing for me and has been this year. Not only like to physically better myself, but mentally too. It was just a really good release for me. And that was really hard to not have time to go to the gym and kind of like get that release. It is really important to kind of fuel your body with the right food and nutrition and, you know, work out and exercise. But that is so much easier said than done in college, especially if you're living on campus and eating campus foods. Like, that food is not good. It is honestly impossible to eat well on campus. Like, and that was so hard for me to just like accept. That's not to say like eat pizza every single day because like the dining hall doesn't have good food. Like, no, I still tried to make healthy choices, but I knew that it wasn't like the most wholesome foods I'd ever eaten in my life. I started to get really frustrated and was beating myself up over the fact that like I wasn't hitting the personal like physical goals that I had wanted to this year. but there was truly not much I could do about it this year. Like, I still tried to make healthy choices. I tried to go to the gym whenever I had free time. But like I said, I never had free time. So it was really, really hard for me to get to the gym. So if you're someone like me and you really try to focus on eating healthy and like bettering yourself and you have all these goals, please just kind of like realize and accept that these goals are going to be so hard to hit during the school year and in college. Because at the end of the day, like, your academics do come first, and that's what you're at school to do. And you can kind of hit all those fitness goals during the summer, which is what I plan to do. That was a really hard point for me to get to, was just kind of accepting, like, I'm not going to hit all my fitness goals this year. And that's okay. Like, it is. Like, it's okay. Number 6 is a really, really big one. Always check the weather. Always. This is obviously going to like hold a higher importance depending on where you live. For me, I live in New England, so the weather is changing constantly and is always so unpredictable. So I got into a really good habit of checking the weather every morning before I left my room, just so I was prepared for like the day, kind of weather-wise. Because even if I looked out my window and I was like, oh, it looks sunny outside, like who knows, by 3 p.m. it could like be forecasted to start pouring rain, or it could actually be like -2 degrees outside even if it's sunny, because it's New England and Mother Nature can never make up its mind. Even if it was 9 a.m. and I wasn't going to be back into my room until like 7 p.m. that night, and it was supposed to start raining at like 3, I'd make sure I wore my rain boots and had my rain jacket or my umbrella. It saved me from a lot of frostbite during the winter and running back to my room in the pouring rain with no umbrella. For college kids, that's honestly going to be a huge one. Just always check the weather. Do it. Even if you think you know what it's going to be like that day. Just do it. And the 7th thing I learned this year was, don't be ashamed to ask for help. And I was. Like always. I never asked for help. I never felt like ashamed or bad when asking my friends or my classmates for help, but like going to my professors and asking them for help, or like admitting to them that I was struggling, seems like the biggest no-no to me. Like, I was so scared and so ashamed to tell any of my professors, like, hi, I'm not doing so hot. Help. And it took me a while to actually like kind of break down and ask my professors for help. I always tried to kind of push through things, either like by myself or with the help of my friends. But like at the end of the day, there's only so much that your friends can do, and like your friends can't give you an extension. Like, you have to go to your professor for stuff like that. And that was always so scary to me, because in my head, I always convinced myself that I was like, oh, if I go and ask them for help, like they're going to think I'm weak, or they're going to think I'm dumb, and like they're just going to see me at such a lower level than what they do right now. Newsflash, they're not going to think you're dumb. They are there to help you. They want nothing more than to see you succeed, and they're going to help you in any way that they can in order to do that. At the end of the day, like, this is your education, and you need to do what's best for you in order to get like the best learning experience that you can. And that took me kind of a while to realize, like, this is my education and I need to take the steps that I need in order to provide myself with the best learning experience. Towards the end of the semester, like, I was getting really overwhelmed. I knew I wasn't going to be able to hand in assignments perfectly or on time. There were some assignments where I was like, I have no clue what I'm doing. I really need help. And it took every ounce of strength for me to reach out to my professors and be like, hi, I need help. And guess what? They helped. Like, they were so willing to help. And it's crazy to me that I didn't just do this earlier. I suffered for so long getting stuff done by myself because I was so scared to reach out to them for help. And then once I did, they were like, oh yeah, we'll help you. Like, what's up? What do you need? And I was just like, why didn't I just do this the whole time? So that was a really big one for me. Like, seriously, never be ashamed to ask for help. Not even just academically, but in any aspect of life. If you're struggling mentally, there's nothing to be ashamed about in struggling in any aspect of life, and always get the help you need. Because at the end of the day, you really do need to do what's best for you, and there are so many people out there that are willing to help you in any way that they can. So the 8th thing that I learned this year, and this is also like a huge one, is a positive mindset really is everything. Like, everything. And I know so many people probably just like eye rolled at that, but it's so true. And like a year or two ago, I definitely would have joined you in that eye roll, because it is cliche and I was always like, yeah, whatever, like, okay. But it's so true. In the past, I struggled a lot with like always focusing on the negative aspects of life, like always. Any positive in life, I would always kind of downplay it with the negative and be like, oh yeah, like this is great, but like this is so much worse. So like that's why life sucks. Focusing on the positives instead of the negatives has truly changed my life. Like, honestly, that probably sounds so dumb and so cliche and like just so like fake, but it is so, like, I'm not kidding. Like, I'm so genuinely saying this. Like, it has changed my life. Looking at the positives, like, I am just so much happier with my life and just everything about my life. And I just see life through such a brighter light now. Any little negative, I'm just like, oh yeah, but like, whatever. So what? Look at all this great stuff that's happening. That's something that's taken me so long to conquer. But I'm so happy that this year I was able to finally push through and do it because wow. Like, wow. The ninth thing that I learned this year is that things happen for you and not to you. This is also a big one that's really changed the way I look at not only college, but life in general. Stop playing yourself as the victim. All of this stuff isn't happening to you. Like, it really is happening for you. Literally, let's count how many times I've said this has been a busy year. I took some of the hardest classes. Actually, I took the hardest classes I have ever taken. And I was always like, oh, I have this assignment and I have this assignment. And like, why is this my life? Like, why am I always doing homework? But then if I sit back and think about it, I'm like, no, look how lucky I am that I get to go to college and I get to study something that I am truly passionate about. And I get to do all these hard assignments that are benefiting me so much. Yes, these were really hard classes, but the amount that I've learned from these classes is insane to me. Like, I have learned so much, like so much beneficial information that I will use in my future. I have learned through these classes. Yes, I did struggle through these classes, and I could like sit here and say like, oh, look at all that happened to me. Like, look at all of the struggling I went through. Well, like, no, look at everything it's given me. Those struggles, like, words. I'm so passionate about this right now. I can't even form words. I'm so blessed that I did go through these classes because this semester really just pushed me to limits that I've never been pushed to before. And throughout the semester, I was constantly saying like, this is like beyond my limits. Like, I can't do this. Like, that I'm not capable. And one day, actually, my best friend Bree said to me, yes, this is pushing you to limits you've never been pushed to before, but it's not pushing you past your limits. And that truly opened my eyes as to like, yes, this is so hard because I've never had to work this hard. I've never been pushed to these kind of limits, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm incapable or that it's past my limits. It's just a limit that I've never been before, and it's new territory. And that kind of just showed me like how capable I really am and how far I'm able to push myself and others are able to push me, and I can still succeed. That's another mindset that like really just kind of changes your perspective on not only school but life, is that things really do happen for you and not to you. To stop kind of looking at yourself as a victim and kind of look at the situations and be like, okay, but what am I gaining from this? What is this doing for me instead of what is this doing to me? And that again has also changed kind of like how positively I look at situations and look at life and look at school. And it's just really let me appreciate everything that I'm going through or everything that I've done in school so much more. And the 10th thing that I learned this year, and the hardest pill for me to swallow, was that you truly can only do your best. I'm not gonna lie, this one took me a long time to accept. Like, a long time. Like, I still at some points catch myself not really accepting it and going against that, but like, it's true. You really can only do your best. What I mean by that is at some point you do have to put your mental and physical health before academics. Like, you do. And that was something I struggled a lot with, especially towards the middle of this past spring semester. April was a crazy month for me. Like you guys saw, I was doing something every single day, all day. I barely had any days where I had free time. Because of that, I was still putting academics first. I was struggling so much mentally. Like, I never got enough sleep. I was always exhausted. I was always tired. And I was hurting because I was dancing 24/7. So, like, physically, my body hurt. I just wasn't giving myself enough time to rest and get ready for the next day because I was so determined to make every assignment perfect and hand in every assignment on time and just do as well as I possibly could. And for me, that meant kind of disregarding my mental and physical health. I hit a point in the semester where I was just like, I'm not okay. And I didn't know what to do about it. And I kind of broke down. I didn't know what to do. And it was so hard for me to accept that, like, this assignment's going to be a little late, or this assignment isn't going to be the best assignment I've ever completed. And that was so hard for me to accept, like, so hard. I felt like such a failure because I handed in this paper one day late, or I knew that I could have tried so much harder on this assignment. This was 3 weeks ago. This was like at the very end of the semester. This took me a very long time to accept because I was so scared to put my health first and compromise my grades because I felt the need to always have straight A's, always do perfect, always, like, school came before everything in my life this year. And while yes, like, that is a good quality to have, and that, like, school is important, it's not everything. Your mental and physical health should be your number one priority, and it wasn't mine. At points, I still catch myself, like, it's still not mine. And that's something I still really, really need to work on, and I recognize that. If that means getting a C in your class, like, good for you, you get that C. If that means getting straight A's, like, damn, good for you, like, get those straight A's. I've touched upon this in a few previous points, but, like, I just got so into the mindset that I needed to get A's on everything, and everything needed to be perfect in order to be viewed as successful, which is so not true, by the way. I also constantly caught myself comparing myself to others, like, oh, well, they got an A on this, so, like, why didn't I get an A? What could I do better? You really can't compare yourself to other people. Like, that's just so bad. And I recognize that, and that's something I still continue to struggle with, but am working on. Like, hi, cliche, again. But the only person you really can compare yourself to is yourself. And I understand that for a lot of people that is so hard, me included, but, like, you really can't compare yourself to others because you're not them and they're not you. And your best is truly good enough, like, I promise. And that's something I still continue to struggle with to kind of accept. I just permanently deleted all my notes for this video, so good thing this is the last point because this video is a mess. Are we literally kidding right now? Did I seriously just do that? Oh my god. I can't believe I just did that. This is a point that I'm still really, really focusing on, but it is so, so important. Probably the most important point of any point that I've talked about in this video. All you can do is your best. It is so true. Always strive to do your best, but don't push yourself that much. And that's something that I'm really trying to focus on, especially going into next year. All I can do is my best. All you can do is your best. And that's what we have to keep reminding ourselves. So those were the 10 things that I learned my sophomore year of college. I hope that this helped any of you either going into college or you're in college or in high school. I don't know. I hope this helped someone. And, you know, if you can relate to any of these, like, please comment down below. I love hearing that, like, people can kind of relate to what I'm feeling or what I'm saying. And yeah, to kind of wrap things up, like, this was an insanely difficult year for me. Like I said, it was both the best and worst school year of my life. Looking back at this year, I did so many amazing things. I'm so grateful for all of the opportunities that I got this year. I've surrounded myself with the most amazing people ever. You guys know who you are. I love you so much. I took the most challenging but also the most rewarding classes of my life. This was definitely a breakthrough year, and at the end of the day, I'm so proud of myself for everything I've accomplished this year. There were moments where I really, really didn't think that I would get through this year, but we're here sweating our butts off in summer. I made it. It's summer. We all made it. We did it. We all survived this year, and honestly, I'm really, really proud of myself for everything I've done this year. And, you know, in a year, I'll be sitting maybe in the same Target parking lot filming this video about the 10 things that I learned my junior year of college. I cannot believe I'm about to be a junior. This is insane. Like, what? Well, I'm ready to sit and enjoy summer. I am also so, so excited to see what junior year holds for me. And I'm just very blessed to be able to go to school and study things that I'm passionate about. And yeah. Now that my camera is overheating and I'm sweating my butt off, I just wanted to say thank you guys so, so much for watching. I really appreciate all your love and support. If you liked this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe. It really means a lot. I'm so excited to get my butt in gear this summer and post so many fun summer videos on YouTube. So make sure you subscribe to keep up with those. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.